Hey, we're back, and so today in Crystal's kitchen, I'm making lemon pie, lemon meringue pie without the meringue because my family does not like meringue. And so growing up, Mom would buy the Watkins mix, if you're familiar with Watkins brand products, and it was a special treat a few times a year. Well, Watkins doesn't make this stuff anymore, so for her birthday last year, I found a recipe for homemade lemon pie and made it, and everybody loves it. Aiden loves it, and if Aiden loves it, everybody's gonna like it. So, but you start. I have, and I'm doubling the recipe just because we like it a lot of filling. I don't want a thin pie because we don't stack a big meringue on it. So I've got 2 cups of sugar. I've got a half a teaspoon of salt. I have half a cup of cornstarch, 6 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and I do use White Lily flour. And I have 2 cups, or actually 4 cups of water. But let me first incorporate the cornstarch flour and salt into my sugar. And since it's white, it's kind of hard to tell. And we have dogs. I have 2 miniature Sounders, so if you hear them barking in the background, that's just part of life in the Stalker house. Okay, so I'm gonna pour my water in. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn my eye on medium heat and take a quick commercial break. Okay. Okay, so now that the dogs are outside, I have in here, I have 2 cups of sugar, I have a cup of cornstarch, 6 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 4 cups of water, and I have a half a cup or a little more, really, of lemon juice. And you can use fresh squeezed, but I find I like Joe and Nellie's lemon juice, and today I'm using this Santa Cruz organic lemon juice. It just looks yummy, so that's what I'm using today. But again, you can use fresh, that's fine. If you wanted to put a little lemon zest in it, you could, but it's really not necessary. And just like with the chocolate pie, this has got to come to a boil and get thick. So you combine your flour, your salt, the sugar, the water, and then stir it continuously until it starts to get thick. And we're going to reduce the heat and cook it for 2 minutes. And then after it's cooked for 2 minutes, we're going to temper some of this mixture into our egg yolks. And this is 6 egg yolks. Now, if you're asking, what do I do with those egg whites? Well, you can cook them for the dogs because that would be a great healthy meal for them, just the egg whites by themselves, or you can put them in a plastic bag and freeze them for later. Hannah likes egg whites, so I do that occasionally. So you don't have to waste them. They can definitely be used, but just not on top of our pie. So I'm going to let this cook and get nice and thick, and I will stand here and stir it continually. You don't want to walk away from it because once it starts, it's a very quick process, just like with the chocolate pie, okay? So we'll be back when we're almost ready to temper the egg yolks, okay? Okay, so our mixture is thick, and you can see it's kind of translucent, and it's been cooking for about a minute at boiling. And so we've got about another minute to go before we start tempering our eggs in. You see how thick it's getting? That's exactly what we want to see. Nice and thick. Okay, so now we're going to temper our eggs. And so I'm going to pull this off the heat. And I've got my eggs right here, right? Okay. And I've got myself a little ladle to make my life a little bit easier. And this is the tricky part. So you want to spoon this in and stir to temper those eggs. And what that will do is you're kind of cooking the eggs without throwing it all the way into the mixture. I'll add some more and keep going. And this will keep your eggs from curdling or scrambling into your pie. I'm going to add just a little bit more. And again, the mixture is boiling hot. Okay. So now, let me get all this goodness off because we need every bit of it. I'm going to dump this into here. And those eggs are now done, and they should not curdle in the least. I'm going to stir those in. I'm going to cut my eye down. Only got it about halfway on the eye. Now I'm going to add my lemon juice, because you can't have lemon pie without adding the lemon. So I'll pour that in and stir. Now, I've said before, I love a good wooden spoon. You just want to get this incorporated. I almost need a bigger pot. Got it going down the side. I don't want to burn it on my eye, so excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the eye. Got it on about medium. And I need to add a couple of tablespoons of butter. And I always have soft butter on hand, and that's about 2 tablespoons. And you just want to stir that butter in. Helps give it a nice glossy finish. It's delicious.
I was about to say it don't taste bad either.
Well, if you had a favorite food or condiment, it would probably be butter. Cold butter. He likes cold butter on bread. Oh no! Let me drop this down. A big boo-boo there. Where would I be without paper towels? Make a mess. It's alright. Fortunately, it can be cleaned up. Okay. Alright, our butter's melted. Now I want to taste this to ensure that it's lemony enough, because if it's not, I can add more lemon juice. So, let's see. I think it needs a little more lemon juice, honestly. I don't think it's lemony enough. So, I'm going to add maybe a 1/4 cup. I'm going to whisk it in to incorporate it a little faster. I gotta get a clean spoon, because we don't double dip. Okay. Just need that little extra kick. All right. We're ready to pour it in our pie shell. And again, if you can do homemade, do homemade. Because the flavor difference is out of this world when it comes to a crust. I made these this morning and I just patted the edges down with my fork. Now, if this is too much filling, it's okay. Because we can put it in a bowl and you have lemon pudding, which is what we're going to do. Because you can see only one recipe of this would not have been enough to really fill the pie adequately. Okay? So now, that's 2 pies down. 1 more to go. Next on the agenda is coconut cream.